When a massive disaster strikes unpredictably and the water we take for granted is lost, people are forced to face a harsh reality. Long lines of people waiting for hours just to get drinking water. Furthermore, the severe deterioration of sanitary conditions, being unable to bathe for days or even flush toilets, mercilessly wears down the minds and bodies of the victims.
You might think, if there is no water, we just need to bring it from outside. However, even if drinking water can be secured with plastic bottles, it is unrealistic to continuously transport the massive amounts of daily use water required by tens of thousands of people for bathing and toilets. Amid severed roads and massive traffic jams, it is extremely difficult for empty water trucks to make multiple round trips between distant water sources and the disaster area. What is needed for future disaster countermeasures is not transporting water from the outside. It is an infrastructure paradigm shift, turning the disaster area itself into a water source and producing water on the spot. Making this possible is the Yabe-style mobile pure water production system. The reverse osmosis method is widely known as a typical way to purify muddy or contaminated water on site. While it enables reliable water purification by forcing water through a membrane under high pressure, it faced major problems in the harsh environments of disaster areas. The issue is that when dealing with water containing many impurities, such as muddy water, the filter membrane quickly becomes clogged. Because the device had to be stopped frequently for cleaning and membrane replacement, continuous operation without maintenance was extremely difficult. On the other hand, the distillation method, which boils water and cools the steam to obtain fresh water, does not use a membrane, so there is no concern about clogging. However, this method had another major challenge. It requires a massive amount of thermal energy to boil and evaporate the water. Even if the device itself could be miniaturized, securing the sufficient amount of water needed in a disaster area would require burning a large amount of fuel continuously, resulting in enormous operating costs. As a result, it could not become a realistic and sustainable support option. The filter clogging in the RO method and the enormous energy costs in the conventional distillation method. Solving these two challenges is the Yabe-style approach, born from multiple patented technologies, including energy-saving freshwater production equipment. Its greatest feature is not boiling water at high temperatures, but efficiently bringing air and water into contact within a patented gas-liquid contactor. This makes it possible to promote evaporation with dramatically lower energy. With this innovative mechanism, we succeeded in freeing the system from membrane clogging, while simultaneously achieving a fundamental reduction in heat consumption. We will introduce 3 key points that support the overwhelming performance of the Yabe-style system. First, its overwhelming purification ability. Because it evaporates only water molecules without using a filter, it can extract only pure water molecules from things like ink, muddy water, and even toilet water. Second, a thorough heat recovery loop. The heat released during condensation is fully recovered and circulated again as energy for evaporation. And third, precisely because the system itself is extremely energy efficient, it can be operated using only the exhaust heat from a truck's engine. Through the synergistic effect of unique heat management and gas-liquid contact technology, the required energy has been reduced to less than 1/30th of conventional methods. We have finally achieved what was previously impossible: low-cost, mass pure water production on site and ultra-miniaturization of the equipment. The system's miniaturization has made it possible to mount this device on a ubiquitous compact truck. The mobility of a compact truck can easily navigate through mountains of rubble and severed, narrow residential roads where large vehicles cannot enter. And being this truck size fundamentally changes the nature of disaster relief. If one system were deployed to each municipality, in the event of a large-scale disaster, a wide area support network could be built, with highly mobile compact trucks rushing in as support units simultaneously from neighboring towns that escaped damage. Once it arrives at an isolated evacuation center, it simply pumps up water from local rivers or swimming pools and continuously produces pure water of drinking water quality. Thanks to its astonishing energy-saving performance that minimizes energy consumption, a single dispatch can run continuously for about 45 days on just a small amount of fuel, birthing a water source that never runs dry. The Yabe-style innovative energy-saving water purification technology does not stop there. The patented gas-liquid contact device can be freely scaled up according to the application and the required water volume. We offer an optimal lineup tailored to the phase and scale of support, from truck models that rush first to isolated areas to large truck models that support core hospitals and large-scale evacuation centers. Going beyond the limits of transportation to produce safe water anywhere, the Yabe-style mobile pure water production system for disasters will become a new lifeline that fundamentally changes world's transformed disaster response worldwide.